Here's the little spring. There's a holder for the spring, and then I made a little keeper here to keep the eyeball from rotating too far, getting hung up. Try to get a different angle. Now it's time to finally put the printed circuit board into the box, into the book. I've prefabricated this board. I had 100 of these boards made, so you can get them from me unpopulated. It's a double-sided circuit board, professionally made. It goes into the box right here, leaving room here for the battery. So you want to shove that all the way to the back that you can, so you leave enough room for the battery. To mount this, I like to use this Scotch Outdoor double foam tape, and I just put a couple pieces on the bottom of the circuit board to hold it in the box. Zoom out here. This mounting system, you just peel and stick. It can be removed later, but with great difficulty, because this stuff really sticks. Okay, when you mount this, it goes into the box as far back as you can get it this way. Like that. That leaves plenty of room here for the battery. The two leads that go back to the motor here get soldered to H3. Doesn't matter which polarity here. You can choose the polarity on the keypad. Then the motor here, which has a black lead and a yellow lead. The black lead ends up going to pad 3, which is ground. I think I'll shorten that a little bit. You want to keep the wires in here as neat as possible, because it's kind of crowded inside, and if a wire gets in the way of the propeller, you'll screw things up. Okay, this black lead goes to pad 3, which is actually ground. The yellow lead goes to one of the H2 pads. Doesn't matter which one. Okay, then you're going to have to keep those out of the way of this propeller. I've also got a greeting card sound module. This one happens to run at 2.5 2.9 volts. And this happens to be a laughing module. It has 3 leads because it's got to have ground, 2.9 volts, and then the output from the board to turn it on and off. Once again, I'm using double stick tape on my sound module to mount it in the box. I better put some on the back of this speaker too here. And we want to mount this in the box so that it's out of the way of everything else. So put it in there. Let's see, let's put it in like this. Push it down, push the speaker down. Don't stick your finger through the speaker. And make sure that the lid closes okay with everything mounted. Run the wires through the tie wrap. Keep it away from the propeller. And now that we've got all the wires that go in this direction wrapped, we can tighten up our tie wrap but keep it out of the way of the propeller. There, that should do it. Okay. These 3 wires, the black one is ground and also goes onto pad 3. The white one gets its signal from the board, so we'll solder that to the other H2 pad. And then the red lead, which is the plus to my sound module, gets soldered to pad 1. It's over in a different spot in the board. Just for layout necessity, it had to be in a different place. I think I'll use a pair of pliers for this job so I don't burn myself. Okay, now all 3 of those are done. About the only thing left with our box now is power. That's going to be given to us by a 9-volt battery, a battery clip, and we need to put a switch on. Okay, here's a 9-volt battery clip. I'm going to cut the lead about half gone and solder it to the slide switch. I like to tin everything before I solder it. Probably wouldn't hurt to put some heat shrinkable tubing over that to keep it actually I think I'll do that, because as you change the battery lead, you'll be pulling on that wire. So let's do this. And then this side of the switch goes to plus on the board. Okay, and then these two wires, actually we could have just put that wire into that connector, but my connectors were already made, so I'm just going to splice it. Okay, now we've got the ground of the battery clip going to ground of the board. I've got the positive of the battery clip going through the switch to the positive of the board. Now we need to mount this. So I'm going to take a little bit of gap filling medium super glue, and being very careful not to get it on the insides of this thing. Mount it below the top so that the top can close all the way right here. And then I think we're just about ready to try this thing out. Okay, I got a couple Velcro strips here that are the right length for a battery. Put that one on there. That one on here with the sticky side up. Put our battery on. And then place the battery here. And we need to dress these wires around the board a little bit so that they don't stick up. Could use a wire wrap on them here in a minute. There, everything closes properly, no gaps. So, turn it on, testing it out. Here's my sound module. This will be the eyeball. And this will be the propeller. There's one direction, there's the other direction. It works. Alright. So let's see what it looks like when I make it go. And there we are. Complete. I usually end up putting some fur or something over the eyeball to make a an eyebrow. We'll do that at the last. This is soaked with super glue here, so it's going to take a little while for that to dry. But you get the idea. And now we've got a finished product. I like to mark the on-off switch with the on and off. This happens to be off. This is on. You can also put it up here on the rail if you want. I think I'm going to use tie wraps and tidy this up, but pretty much this is a complete project.